All right, guys, this is me again. This is Emmett the Alpha Builder. Um, this is my live stream, so I'm gonna see how we go with this thing right here. I'm gonna do a couple of items I want to talk about today, and let's get in. Well, the two items I'm gonna talk about today is gonna be AI integration into the job market, and then I also want to talk about the new platform of school and how we're going to be doing things probably moving forward with the integration of technology. So let's get into it, guys. All right, the only thing that, the only thing that I'm not going to be able to get together right now is going to be my chat. For some reason, I just can't get this chat to work, man. I wanted to see if you guys come on and ask questions. Let me see, can I fix this thing here? Let me see, dot chats. Let me see what happens here. Let me see if it'll pull it up. And it does all this sign in the chats, man, and you got to do all this stuff in order to sign in. And okay, I may be on. Let me see. It says, welcome to live chat. I guess, guys, if you guys want to come on and chat, let me know. So let's get into this right here, guys. And these are some things that I've been thinking about, and I had to get my little glasses here, and I may need to clean this screen in order to see. But let me see if I can go right here. And I'm going to start right here. So this is the one I want to start with. This is, take this guy right here off. So we got, and I'm going to see am I moving right, because sometimes that get off too. AI taking over jobs, what to know about the future of jobs, guys. So, and I've always talked about this right here. But one thing I do let people know is that it is going to take over. But in the construction industry, when people are actually moving things, and there's just so many things that you got to do right now before robots can build houses. We're not going to have to worry about that for at least the next 30, maybe even 50 years. Now, they're getting close, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But let's look at the regular job market, guys. If you look at the regular job market, AI taking over jobs, and here we got what to know about the future jobs. So these are some of the jobs, and it actually talks about some of the jobs that AI is going to take over. And this right here article was done in 2023. So a 2023 resume builder survey found that 37% of companies using AI replace workers with the technology, and 44% anticipated AI-induced layoffs in 2024. Let me change one thing. I want to change my little banner here. Change this little banner right here. We're going to say AI takeover of jobs. I think that's a little bit more fitting there. Now, let me just say this right here about me. So, guys, when I first got out of college, so I went to University of Alabama at Birmingham, and I was a little jealous, man. I had a lot of my buddies, I was on that 10-year curriculum. It took me years. I ended up dropping out of college and going to the military, and then coming back and trying to get things going. And most of my buddies and my fraternity brothers and all those guys had already got their they got the degree, they got these corporate jobs, and they was working behind an office at a desk and all that kind of stuff. And it was, man, I was a little jealous, man. I was like, man, some of these guys was getting jobs with the power company and all these different things as engineers and things like that. And I was I was like, man, I wanted to be that guy. And the first thing they did, guys, well, you remember back during that time, the first thing they did was they went and bought a car. They went and, and they had these nice cars. And guys, I was driving a spectrum. And if I can show you guys what that thing looks like, and let me just see if I can. And I'm trying to get used to this commentation screen. But this is what I was driving, guys. I was driving a, see if I can find that thing here, man. And we should be able to find it. I actually saw the same one on this right here. And I think it might have been, it may have not been 89. Let's look at what this thing right here. This is the exact car that I had right here, guys. Golly. And I hate you can't make them bigger. I got to figure that out, man. It used to be back in the day, you can blow these, there's a way you can blow it up. I could actually blow it up just using, I could just kind of blow it up like that. That's the car that I had, right? And it was the same color, guys. Golly, right back memories. That's what I had. That thing didn't even have any, it didn't even have air. And they had the windows that you had to roll up like that. But a lot of my buddies, they was going out getting Explorers and stuff. They got these corporate jobs sitting in the office and stuff like that. And today, there's been a pivot. I talked to a buddy of mine a couple of weeks ago. I went to kind of visit him. And he was just telling me about, he works with one of the major companies in Georgia. One of the major utility companies in Georgia. And he was just telling me about, especially in the African-American community, he was telling me about all the African-American men that lost their job. And it wasn't due to AI. It was due to sexual harassment cases on them. They were getting in trouble, they was messing around with some of the girls and stuff in the office and things like that. And these women were, they flipped the script on them and it is what it is, guys. They become the victims and sexual harassment. And he said 5 of them within a year's time lost their job. This is another thing, man. I mean, just in the corporate setting, especially if you're a man and it's tough, man. You in there. And then not only that, you got these things, and I don't know a lot of people like this, what is it, DEI? This is another thing that's going on now, guys. And they're just, in some cases, they hire people because they want them to fit all different backgrounds. And guys, I never agreed with DEI. I don't agree with that mindset. I don't agree with affirmative action. I didn't even agree with affirmative action. I think what should happen always is you put the best person in that job. Now, guys, will there be the good old boy system? Yes, that's going to happen. But you can do the good old boy system, but eventually, over time, it's going to catch up with them. It will catch up with them because when you keep having a platform of the person who's not the best person for that job, then that product that particular corporation produces, it starts to diminish. And it starts to diminish with that mindset because now you just got people there to fit a quota. They're not necessarily the best person for that particular job. But this is how these people lost their jobs, man, with all this sexual harassment and things like that. So you got all these things, right? You got all these things going on right now. But the big thing that's going to happen, in my opinion, is right here, man. AI is replacing and will continue to replace some jobs. Workers in industries ranging from healthcare to agriculture, industrial sectors, can all expect to see disruptions in hiring due to AI, artificial intelligence. But demand for workers in other sectors is also expected to rise thanks to AI. Now, let me just make that just a little bigger too. I wonder, can I make it bigger? So guys, this is kind of like an experiment here. There we go. I'm just experimenting on this whole little platform here. And it also gives, so these are the 10 AI, these are the 10 jobs AI will replace. So, if you guys are on this right here list, you probably want to start trying to figure some things out. Okay. And there they go, man. Customer service representative. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. When I go to a lot of these like I think I went to a McDonald's, and I typically try not to go to McDonald's unless I'm just really really hungry and I didn't have anything set up. But I'd rather deal with that little kiosk machine. I don't want anybody. I don't even want to talk to the people that did. But customer service, car and truck drivers. I mean, they got you got Tesla and all these guys, Waymo. These guys are trying to produce full autonomous self-driving. And guys, I got one of those Teslas, and I tell you that self-driving thing is for real. It does the trick, man. And it's only going to get better. So truckers and all these guys, I mean, they're going to have it to where, you're not going to have, those things not going to have, they're not going to need anybody inside of those trucks driving. Computer programmer, that's gone. And back when I was in college, that was the job to get right there, man. You got your computer programmer job. Oh, you made plenty of money. These guys went out and bought houses, got married, got the Explorer, and man, they were doing good back in the day. Research analyst, paralegal, factory or warehouse worker. Look at that. See, they're gonna have all these. If you go to Amazon right now, from my understanding, they got a lot of. I think they have a. Let me just see if I can find this right here. Warehouse automated. See if it pulls up something that. See what it pulls up. Yeah, look at that, man. So they're moving more and more to the automation style. Look at that. They're gonna have robots. This might be just a. I got to figure out a way to make these screens bigger. So I see a robot arm right there. Well, this may be a picture that was drawn, but this is what's fixing to happen, guys. I tell you, this is the future of those warehouses. They're not going to have anybody on here. Let's see, inside Walmart's automated warehouse of the future. Yeah, let's see what that looks like.
Built custom industrial machines in days.
Robots there.
Walmart plans to automate many of its U.S. warehouses, changing what it means to be a warehouse worker. This Brooksville facility located in Florida is one of the first. As robots work alongside people at this Florida facility, some workers gain weight, some like having less physical stress.
So that means you don't need as many workers as they have now.
Inside a sprawling Walmart in Brooksville, Florida, green up pointing triangle warehouse here, hundreds of job slinging boxes are changing into roles managing robotic arms, conveyor belts, and screens. The Central Florida warehouse, surrounded by cow pastures and housing developments, has been one of this county's largest private employers since it opened in 1991, say local officials. By the end of the year, it will be the first U.S. Walmart warehouse of its kind to use automation to handle most products. Welcome to the future, said Jose Molina, who has worked in the Brooksville warehouse for 25 years. 3 months ago he became an autonomous forklift operator in the facility after years unloading semi-trucks the manual way with a pallet jack. To switch. They still go home and they can't have.
So here's the thing, guys. We created this problem. I think we did. I mean, well, the workers created this problem. They created this problem because, a lot of workers, they wanted higher wages. They complained about the amount of time that they work and things like that. They want to take days off. So you know what a corporation is here to do? The purpose of a corporation is to turn a profit. That is it. So if they can go out and get rid of all the people at that job, and then they can just have robots doing everything, the robots don't have to take time off. You might have to maintenance them to make sure they lubricated and everything, but they don't have to take time off. they're not going to complain about being overworked. They can work from sun up to sundown. You can produce more. Your labor costs go down. And the problem here in the United States at this point, guys, is that labor costs is so high. This is why it's hard for car companies to come here and manufacture cars here, and then they have to pay that labor cost to the employees to the point to where it increases the cost of the car, so the cars are not affordable. Now, I think Tesla has figured that thing out because they probably have a vast majority of their plants that are just like this already, which is why they're able to produce an electric vehicle and make it affordable. And no other legacy car maker that's here can do that right now. So these are the things that's going on, guys. So get ready for it. So let me just go back. So we got also the what else we got? Financial trader. I mean, you probably can do that right now. You can go on there and just tell AI to figure this thing out and figure out which stocks are moving the best or where to put your money and things like that, and it'll figure it out for you. Travel advisor, content writer, and that's another thing. Content writer, it can produce content for you. Tell you, I use Chat GPT, guys. It's awesome to use that Chat GPT just to, sometimes I ask it to do the descriptions of my YouTube, descriptions and sometimes even the titles. I ask it to do that. And graphic designer. And, like that graphic designer, things like, in the builder world, we have what they call a plan designer. And I think, let me see, plan designer. Let's see what we're looking like right here. So this right here, they have AI that can do this right here too, guys. So I'm at the junior college, guys. I teach building classes at the junior college, and the guy that does the guy that taught plan designing, he quit. He saw the writing on the wall. Well, he went on ahead and retired. Good guy too, man, but he went on ahead and retired. But I knew that he saw the writing on the wall when his student enrollment started to diminish. But most people right now, if you go get a good CAD program, I think they got a couple of them, Rivet and things like that. If you can get a good CAD program and you can actually become proficient, because it guys, just like even me doing this right here stuff on YouTube and this using OBS, it took me time, but I'm starting to get a little bit better at it to where I can jump from screen to screen like you guys are seeing right now. But if you learn how to use a good CAD, a good drafting program, you don't necessarily need to go to school. Now, I tell you, I would take some classes in code, like some of the classes that I teach. Like right now, guys, I'm teaching a class that's building code. So, because like here in the Birmingham area, we probably got about 20 different municipalities within a 30-mile radius, and each one of them on different code cycles. And so it would be good that if I was a drafter, because if you got a good program, a good software, you can have great software, but if you're not putting that stuff into that software, telling it what to do, that's not going to help you none, especially in different municipalities. So if you're in this municipality and you're on a 2021 code, there may be some slight differences than if you're in like the Birmingham, we're on the 2018 code or the 2015 code. And so that's why it would be good to understand how to maneuver and go through the code and take classes on the building codes. When I say code, I'm not like coding computers, but like excuse me, like the building code. So that's another thing, guys. I'll tell you what, man. So if you just learn a good CAD program, you don't necessarily have to go 2 years of school for drafting. And guys, and I'll get into this right here a little bit later. Let me see on the school part. So don't have to go. So, that's just a matter of convenience, guys. So let me go back to this screen right here. So we got let me just see. Is this car and truck driver, main administrative task. Let's see. AI powers lots of machines. Let's kind of talk about it, guys. You guys can, if you just Google this right here, guys. If you just Google AI takeover, job 10 jobs AI will replace. It'll just pull it up on Google. You know, I'm gonna figure out how to do all this description stuff and put all that stuff in the boxes a little later. But this right here article kind of goes over all these different jobs that's going to be taken. But one thing they didn't say here is builder. Here's another one right here. So it looks like it says jobs AI won't replace. And we're going to talk about the teacher in just a second. Teacher, nurse, social worker. Because, you know, social worker, you're probably going to need that interaction with people. Therapist, I say that would be the same thing. Handyman. That's like I said, man, these are people that just come out here and do things. Those the handyman just going out here fixing and repairs and things like that. There's just so many different things that's an issue. You have to have a robot to do it. And then, so that's not going to go anywhere. I think you can probably get rid of lawyers. I wish I could. HR specialists. Well, the HR is going to only be hiring robots, writer and artist. So I don't see artists, but, you know, like writer and artist, you know, people don't necessarily have to have that in order to live. So, you know, so these are some of the things that you want to think about. Now, let me just say this right here. I don't think that builders are completely, that's like I said, I don't think they're completely in the clear from an AI takeover. I just think it's going to take time for them to have something that take over the trades, you know, like mechanical, electrical, plumbing, framing, things like that. But it's coming. And you can see right here, this right here is actually coming, guys. So there's it's getting to the point to where they're going to do it.
My name is Ayman Hussein, and I am the director of 3D printing at Alquist. Here at Alquist, we focus on printing homes that are affordable in the community and for the people in the area. We range between 1,500 square feet and 1,300 for our single family. We use large-scale construction 3D printers to be able to create affordable housing in rural and unserved areas. So when we arrive on site, we typically work on a slab or a ribbon footing, and what we do is we set the printer up around where the house is going to go. We typically have around 5 or 6 pieces of equipment, and that is printer, and we also have a control panel.
The only issue with this right here right now, number one, some of the way this thing is printing this thing out and the little grooves and things, you really need that house needs to be in a subdivision where all the houses are basically the same, are being printed the same way. In most subdivision like here where we are, you probably would have, they probably don't want houses, you know, like scattered houses to look like that. So that would be an issue because there will probably be some covenants and restrictions that will not allow this look there. But if you had a whole subdivision, and this is going to be for the developers, and the developers are going to come and they're going to buy these machines and things, and they're going to be printing their own houses. I can see this right here taking off.
Operate and monitor the print settings. Then on the material side, we have a silo which holds.
So this is it's coming, guys. I just wanted to see a finished product of this right here. And I don't know
the other side of the door, and you complete that other wall section. And then once you're at the top of the door, what we do is we add I refer to it as a manual support. And so what we do is we add a steel lintel that stretches across that window or door. And then the printer then continues printing directly over top that system. Each house can.
So you can see it prints. I mean, it makes the door openings and things. Let me just kind of see what this right here. I wanted to see a finished product. Now I think the interior is probably going to be.
And people leaving out jobs, and that's why I direct.
So once you get on the inside like this right here, and if your roof is where you can span from one side of the house to the other, then all the interior walls are non-load bearing, so you don't you don't have to worry about the framing. I mean, you can just frame as fast as you want to. As a matter of fact, you can actually frame instead of 16 inches on center, you can do 24 inches on center. The code would allow that because you just need something to attach drywall to.
Here is this technology we see as the answer to and not the cause of the national job shortage. We are committed to locally hire crews to run our machines. So if we go into a community, we hire from within that town, train them on the printer, and they become our print crew in the area. And just like any automation company, it's our duty to replace any jobs lost through the process. And so we are working with a lot of universities across the country to create a job force development program to train people on this new system in this area.
This is where we're headed, guys. I don't think this right here would be a common thing until we are probably, guys, I'm probably going to be, man, at that point, I probably have about 10 more summers left, maybe 5 more summers left on this planet. All right, so these are some of the things that are happening, guys. So this is what's happening, guys. Now, once again, I do, like I said, guys, I think that a lot of these corporate jobs, like I say, guys, I used to be jealous of guys who got these corporate jobs and they got a chance to sit in these offices and buy all these nice cars and houses. Like, man, I want to be like that. But now, I'm so glad that I'm doing what I'm doing. It's like it just worked out really, really well that I'm doing what I'm doing. So because a lot of these jobs are being replaced. A lot of, and guys, I'll be honest with you, when you have a job, like when the COVID happened, a lot of people were working from home and, cause they could do everything just on the computer and stuff like that. You didn't really need to be there going back and forth to work, getting in traffic and things like that. It's just a nuisance cause you can actually do the things that they were doing from the home. Cause they was in the office. That's all they was doing, just processing information and things like that. Well, a lot of those people were at home. They were working at home, and then when now that the COVID is not going through, now that the COVID is not here, they're making those guys go back to the job, and you wonder why they're asking these people to go back because they could just work from home. It could be less load, less impact on the office because less lights, less heating and cooling and things like that. Well, the reason a lot of time they want them to go back is to encourage them to quit. Because, they know that some people are just going to say, well, I don't want to go back to work. I don't want to go back. So they encouraging a lot of these guys to quit. They encouraging people to go ahead and do an early retire and get on out of there. And they're just not replacing them. They're just taking AI and replacing these office jobs. So, but building, which is why I always kind of push the building and the construction side of things. Like I said, it's coming. We see that it's coming. This technology is getting better and better, guys. And but you at least got a 20 to 30 year, maybe even 50-year run on this thing. I don't know how many years you got, but you got time before it becomes a common thing. And you can make all your money right now in the building sector. You can make enough money to buy you a couple of those print machines. This is where your mind needs to be. This is what we need to be thinking about. I don't know if let me just see. I'm gonna test this chat. I guess I don't have it. I can't see who's in or anything like that. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if anybody's in here or not. I got to figure this thing out moving forward. So this it's gonna take me a little time. So if you're in here, I apologize. You can just leave a comment in the chat box. And what I'll do is I'll come back and maybe do another live stream to answer those questions. Okay? So that's one subject matter right there, guys. And next one I want to talk about is going to be, I had to go here. I'm just trying to get used to doing this right here, guys, for the most part. Change in typing getting off in the school setting. So guys, I actually, well, you may not know, guys, I teach classes at a junior college, and I've been I've been there around 3, maybe this is going on my 4th year. But when I first got there, I tried to get to learn the system and figure how things work. And as I begin to get in there and the things that I have in my mind and how the courses, I needed to learn how the whole system works first. And then around about the 2nd year, I said, a lot of these classes are theory-based, which means that we're not in the shop. We're actually, like a code class or a construction, maybe a construction management class where I'm teaching you how to manage subcontractors or scheduling and things like that. So those are things that I can teach you, and I can teach you on this right here platform right here. And I've had situations where I've done that, where I taught the class just using my iPad and things like that. Some of the people were at home. Some of the people that couldn't come on site, they were at home, and I could teach the same things. As a matter of fact, it's probably easier for me to do it this way on this tech platform than for you to be in person. And I know, and then you can also ask questions too. So that didn't take away any of that stuff. I was like, this is the future of this right here. So I made it my thing. So I did a challenge to myself. I started recording all my classes online. So we have a platform at the junior college that I'm at. It's called Canvas. And we actually had Blackboard, and then now we just recently switched over to Canvas, which is they're trying to get all the universities and colleges in the Alabama area all on the same platform, which is what they're doing. They're making everything consistent. And so I took all of my classes that I had and I streamed them. I did them via Zoom. I streamed them. I taught them in person at the same time, as well as I recorded all of them, and I uploaded all of them on Canvas. Really nice system, man. So any of the students who miss any of the classes, they can go on and they can watch the lectures, because in this case, the lectures were 100% theory-based. There was no shop hands-on. So I had a thought, man. I was like, why not I just take all my classes, once I teach it one time, I don't have to keep teaching them again. I can just take that and put it on Canvas. And actually, guys, I've been looking this up. There's an AI that can actually take my lectures and do quizzes on each lecture. Give 5 or 6 questions on quizzes. And then they can do that at home. They can take the quizzes at home. They can watch the lectures at home. And then you can, the quizzes or tests, you can have them proctored. They got AI proctoring and stuff like that. So you don't necessarily have to be wasting gas trying to meet over there. That's just a convenience. This is making colleges so much more convenient to the average person. But not only that, what this would also do is it would allow me to be able to not just teach in my area. I could teach someone in California. So it actually opens up the market for that college. If you had a platform that not only had to be here in Alabama, but you can get certifications or you can actually learn how to do things no matter where you at or where you are. That's what I envision. Just so happens that the dean, we got a new dean here, man. We share that same vision. So we're going to figure out a way to make this thing work, because that's just the way to do it, guys. And I've never believed that students should have to spend 2 years of their, because I have 2 certificates. I have a short certificate and I have a associate's degree. But guys, I don't care anything about degrees. Me personally, I do not care anything about a degree. What I care about is that the information that you learn and you gather from my course, oh man, this right here actually works, man. Guys, the chat is actually working. John, man, how you doing, man? It's good to see you. So I didn't know whether or not it worked or not. I'm trying this new thing on OBS, but it actually works. Thanks for joining. And we had to hit each other up every once in a while. I still haven't gotten it to where I can put these chats. Like I joined one of their live streams, I think last week, and they was able to take the chats, and I think I learned how to do it, but I hadn't perfected it. They can take the chats and put them right in front of me right here. But we'll talk more about that, how to figure that out, man. But guys, I think that the future for construction, I think that the future for construction in school and college itself is going to be this online platform like this right here. What we're doing right now, the YouTube. YouTube is not just YouTube. They got Rumble, and they got all these other different platforms that they have, and it works. StreamYard, I think some of the guys use StreamYard, but this is the future of school. This is where it's gonna be, and we can come here. I had this right here, so I think we did have a little discussion right here where it says actually no. I was asking it the question whether or not that some kind of AI was going to take over schools or online schools. It says no, online education is unlikely to replace traditional schools, but it can be valuable complement to them. Both online and in-person learning have unique benefits, and the future of education may be hybrid. I think we're going to move toward the hybrid, because what I want to do is I want to create all my classes online, all my theory-based classes online. Then my labs, I just make myself, I have a lab assistant, we make ourselves available. So the students, when you learn the stuff online, you come to the classroom or you come to the shop and you do your lab. Because you're going to have to perform, you're going to have to cut things, you're going to have to make things and build things and just the trade. And guys, you're not going to learn the trade from the class. You're not going to be proficient at that trade from that class. It's going to take hours and hours of going out here. You got to get jobs. You're going to have to learn how to cut and be proficient, be very handy. It takes time. So I don't expect, but I don't expect for you to learn it in the class. But because what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to become proficient at it by doing it on your own. That's what I mean. But let me see. But I did have one article that did say, let me see, online school compete with, because right now there's a war. I don't know if you guys knew this, but there's a war right now going on between junior colleges and Google. And I hadn't pulled that up. I'm gonna pull it up on another stream that I'm gonna do. But there's a war right now that's going on because Google is starting to offer courses, and they're starting to certify with online classes, which is competing with the junior colleges and also colleges for that matter. So this is going on. So it says online schools compete with traditional schools in terms of flexibility, cost, and personalization. So if I don't have to go to a building, if I just have a theory-based class and I don't have to go to a building to do that class, all I got to do is just go to my own thing, and I could type on my computer, pull the class up, engage with the instructor. That institution over here is not wasting any money heating and cooling the classroom. It's just, then you can, if you record it, if you record those items, you don't have to, you can come in at any given time. So time is another thing that you got. Because like if I come home from work, because most of my guys work. So I got about 18, 20 students per class. Those guys are working, man. They working. They got to work. Guys, we got to work 2 or 3 jobs now. You got to have a side hustle. Most of my guys, they got a regular job and they got a side hustle. Well, they don't have, sometimes they can't make it to class. So they have to watch the video. So I have to make it available for those guys, which is what I do. So this is what's going on, guys. So I think that I'm on something right here, guys. I think that online schools may, like I said, online schools can be more accessible to students with busy schedules, those in remote areas or those on budgets. It's trying to say that traditional schools offer in-person interaction, which I got a couple of students that, my older students like that. They like I like it too, to a degree. I'm getting used to this right here platform as well. And then hands-on, now you can't swap out the hands-on. So actually getting out there doing the stuff, the hands-on stuff, you can't replace that. They got to have a time they can come to the shop. But we're not going to have this. Everybody register for this semester and this semester. You don't need to have that if you got all the classes online. You can just register at any given time. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. So, guys, let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts on this right here, and hit me. You guys comment, like, subscribe, and guys, get the, hit the likes if you guys can, so we can get this information to other people to help this thing grow. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Once again, guys, I appreciate you guys for joining in, and you guys have a good one.